flexible pathway for higher studies with Master of Business, MBUS, from the University of Kelaniya. The Department of Accountancy of the University of Kelaniya, as a leading department in accounting education in Sri Lanka, proudly offers the Master of Business Accounting and Master of Business Finance programs, which are the first ever online master's degree programs offered by a national university.
Adapting to change leads to innovation, and innovation leads to progress. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. The Department of Accountancy, University of Kelaniya, has initiated continuous innovations throughout the years in order to become a trendsetter within the university system. The Master of Business program, introduced in the year 2012, is one of the innovative outcomes of the Department of Accountancy. With that proud note, I warmly welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the 10th batch of Master of Business Accounting, Master of Business Finance, conducted by the Department of Accountancy, University of Kelaniya. Ladies and gentlemen, to formally welcome you all to this ceremony, I would like to cordially invite Professor Dilrukshiyapa Bewardana, Head, Department of Accountancy. Over to you, Madam.
Very good evening to all. Chief Guest, Senior Professor Nilanthi De Silva, Professor PMC Tilakaratna, Guest of Honor, Dr. Narada Fernando, Senior Professor Kapila Seneviratna, Keynote Speaker, Dr. Ravi Fernando, all heads of the department, senior professors, teaching faculty, distinguished guests, and my dear students. I would like to welcome you all to the inauguration of the 10th intake of the Master of Business degree program of the Department of Accountancy, University of Kelaniya. Let me brief about the Master of Business degree program before I move to my formal duty. The Master of Business degree program of the Department of Accountancy is the first ever online master's degree program offered by a national university in Sri Lanka. So we have been offering this program since 2012. As the first coordinator of this program, I can remember we started this program with just 27 applications in 2012. And I'm proud to mention that this year we have received more than 300 applications. This is a level 9 one-year program according to the Sri Lanka qualification framework. If you require, you can continue the degree for 2 years and obtain level 10 qualification. We offer a level 10 2-year program as well. I'm proud to mention here that this is the only program in the university system in Sri Lanka that runs as per the schedule. And students were able to graduate in 1 year for all previous batches. From the very first year, we have met the plan. Precisely in 1 year, we complete the program. At the beginning, we prepare the academic calendar and strictly follow it. So in every batch, we have had students from abroad registered for the program. They need to know our academic calendar and to book their leave in advance to be ready for the examinations. So we give you that assurance that we will exactly follow the schedule. When it comes to Department of Accountancy, we offer 3 degree programs and 4 master's programs and 1 higher diploma program. We have initiated many more things in the faculty, especially online teaching. We started online education back in 2012, while others moved just 3 years ago. Other departments in the faculty and the university benchmark us, so we have been recognized as a trendsetter in the faculty. As one of the leading accounting department in the nation, we earn good recognition, and it is confirmed through through the quality reviews conducted by the University Grant Commission, we obtained A grade for all the reviews, and our quality is again established and well recognized. And at the most recent review, we obtained 89 out of 100, which is the highest marks obtained by a single degree program in the university in that review cycle. We have a set of dedicated faculty and staff who always inspire the students. I'm happy to report that we have professionally and academically qualified lecturers in the panel. I must mention that these degree programs are aligned with international educational standards and Sri Lanka qualification framework. So finally, you are getting a locally and internationally recognized degree. Without taking much time, let me move to my formal duty. First and foremost, I would like to welcome Chief Guest, Senior Professor Nilanthi De Silva, Vice Chancellor, University of Kelaniya. And also I would like to welcome our very own Professor PMC Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor, Open University of Sri Lanka. Madam and Sir, it is indeed an honor to have you both with us. I would like to welcome the guest of honor of the event, Dr. Narada Fernando, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies. We are truly delighted with your presence, sir. I also would like to welcome Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor Kapila Senviratne, for the event. I would like to extend our special welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Ravi Fernando, CEO, Global Strategic Corporate Sustainability Private Limited, who will be speaking later tonight. And also, I would like to welcome all the heads of the departments, senior professors, and the teaching faculty of the Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Senior Assistant Registrar of the Faculty and Deputy Registrar of the Faculty of Graduate Studies. Further, I would like to welcome all my academic staff members and other invitees to the event. And dear students, today is a promising day, as from today you are officially a part of the University of Kelaniya. You have put your best foot forward to make this happen. First of all, I congratulate you all for selecting the Master of Business program of the Department of Accountancy. It is indeed a pleasure to see you all here, and you all have joined with us. You have joined with one of the oldest department in the Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies. So very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I also take this opportunity to appreciate the commitment of Ms. Amila Rajapaksha, Academic Coordinator, and Ms. Navini Pereira, the Technical Coordinator of the program, in organizing this event at this very challenging time. Let me conclude by welcoming you all once again to the inauguration of the Master of Business degree program of the Department of Accountancy. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Madam. Now, with great pleasure, I cordially invite the guest of honor of the day, Dr. Narada Fernando, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Okay, very good evening to all of you. I'm sorry that I'm having some issue with my webcam. So anyway, that hope that you all can hear me. And Senior Professor Nilanthi De Silva, Vice Chancellor, University of Kelaniya. Professor PMC Tilakaratne, Vice Chancellor, University of Open University of Sri Lanka. Then Senior Professor Kapila Senviratne, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies. And the head of the department, Professor Dilrukshi Abhayawardena, as well as the coordinator of the program, Mrs. Amila Rajapaksha, and all the staff members of the faculty and the department. It is a great pleasure to address you all in this evening as the Dean of the Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies. So we are a faculty in the Kelaniya University, which is having 7 faculties at the moment. And in management faculty, we are having 5 departments and offering 14 undergraduate programs in various disciplines: commerce and financial management, accountancy, human resource management, then marketing management, like that. We are having a student population of more than 3,500 as undergraduates, and as well as our strength that goes with the academic staff of 143. Out of them, 50 completed with their PhD qualification, and another 27, they are working for their PhD in different parts of the world. And at the same time, the beauty of the faculty, we are having many professionally qualified staff members. That is one of the specialties in our faculty. They are qualified in chartered accountancy, CFA, ACCA, so like that. And in terms of quality, so what we are maintaining at the moment, so we are a member of ACSB, which is one of the golden recognitions in business education, and we are planning to have the accreditation so within next 2 years time period, and we are working for that. And at the same time, so almost all the departments, they have scored grade A for their quality assurance, so given by the University Grant Commission. And the program what you are learning for today, it is a online program. So we design it at the initial stage, and that is the first in such programs in university system. And the dedication that comes from the staff members of the Department of Accountancy, I highly appreciate, because conducting with 3 undergraduate programs, then 2 sub-degree programs, and another 2 master's degree programs. So that is exceptional. And you need a lot of commitment and dedication from staff members. And not only in Sri Lanka, they have connected with Australian University with this MBUS program, Master of Business Accounting and Master of Business Finance program. That is how they are competing, not only in global, local market, even in the global market also. And I want to congratulate those who have selected for today's event, as well as this MBUS Master of Business program this time. Because without terminating your education, so with your first degree, now you are going for another milestones of your life. So this is not easy, going with a master's degree, doing all other things in your life that maybe you are with your career, with your family, and other personal commitments. At the same time, you have to work for this master's. Definitely, it indicates that you have to commit some more hours of your schedule. Otherwise, you cannot earn this degree. So I'm delighted to use that word, because we are not offering, it is your responsibility. You should earn this degree. So within this 1 year's time period, or that may be even 2-year degree program, if you wish. So then you have to commit yourself, because these things are not very easy to follow. So your commitment, that is the most important thing. And the other thing I want to emphasize, the academic discipline you are maintaining within the program, which is expected by us. So we always respect your designations in your organization, but at the same time, you should maintain the academic discipline which is requested by the program and the university, especially when it comes to lecturing and presentations and assignments. So we hope that you will maintain that, because we are not very much worried about the numbers of the applicants in the program. So we want to maintain the quality what we established there. and hope that all the learning partners, these new learning partners, those who selected for this program, they will maintain it. And I wish all the very best for all the new learning partners to this program. And to conclude, I want to thank Professor Dilrukshi Abeyewardene as the head of the department, and Mrs. Amila Rajapaksha as the academic coordinator of the program, and as well as Ms. Navini Pereira, the technical coordinator of the program, as well as especially I want to thank Dr. Nisansala Vijayakon, who was the former coordinator and did all the hard work for this going with this new batch. And so thanking all of them. And I hope that the next 1 year's time period, that may be a very fruitful year in your life. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, let me cordially invite Senior Professor Kapila Senaviratna, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, University of Kelaniya, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Professor Nilanthi De Silva, Vice Chancellor of the University, our chief guest today. Professor Lal Tilakaratna, Vice Chancellor of Open University. Dr. Narada Fernando, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies. Mr. Ravi Fernando, our guest speaker. Professor Dilrukshi Abeyewardene, Head of the Department of Accountancy, and the coordinator of this program, Dr. Amila Rajapaksha. All the academic staff members, candidates of the program, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, I welcome all these candidates to this Master of Business program. Let me very briefly explain the role of Faculty of Graduate Studies. Postgraduate studies are regulated by the Faculty of Graduate Studies. The faculty enrolls students to the postgraduate programs, and it is responsible for specifying requirements for postgraduate admission, course contents, and schemes of examinations. In addition, FGS is also responsible for establishing and regulating standards in respect of quality of postgraduate teaching and research in the university. The Faculty of Graduate Studies have boards of study, and this MBUS program is coordinated by the Board of Study of Commerce and Management Studies and administered by the Department of Accountancy. And this program has been approved by University Grant Commission. And as Dr. Dilrukshi mentioned, this is the 10th intake to this program. And I noticed that there is an extremely high demand for this program. And not only the quality, but also the number, quantity. Both are very high in this program. Masters of Business Accounting and Master of Business Finance degree programs are, as our head of the department mentioned, level 9 programs according to Sri Lanka qualification framework. But as she mentioned, there is the flexibility of the program for you to earn SLQF 10 qualification after finishing this program. Both Masters of Business Accounting and Master of Business Finance program are, as I understand now, as mentioned by the head of the department, online programs. And these programs are, it is a pleasure to notice that this is the first ever online master's program offered by a national university. So the department has thought out of the box and introduced this online program. I believe that online programs are a blessing in many aspects. I wish I had online lectures for my classes when I was studying. And why do I say that? Sometimes I could not hear the lecturer, or sometimes I didn't understand something when it is mentioned for the first time. Those were chalk talks at that time where they used blackboards, and there is no repetition. When you miss it, and that's it. But when it comes to online programs, if you are enthusiastic enough, and as the Dean mentioned, if you are committed enough, that is the best mode of distance education. Some students in my master's degree classes come from Jaffna and Batticaloa. They take the night train on Friday and spend the weekend at Calania or somewhere around. And after the classes, they reach home by Monday morning. Why go through such a hassle while we have online option? So MBUS virtual learning environment supported by Zoom offers live lectures and online examinations. Learning management system consists of recorded lectures, lecture materials, assignments, and online discussion forums, enabling students to fully engage in MBUS program at their convenience. Students have 24-hour access to the recorded lectures, not just once, but repeatedly. Therefore, this is not just delivering lectures online, but it is a full-blooded online program. The up-to-date facilities and services provided by the Department of Accountancy and also by the Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies and the Faculty of Graduate Studies are all aligned to create an exciting academic experience for you. While congratulating you for becoming a part of the academic community in the university by enrolling in this MBUS program, I invite you to go through the program prospectus and guidelines provided by FGS to get yourself more familiar with your new academic endeavor. I wish you all a very successful postgraduate career with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. The next dignitary to honor us with her presence is the chief guest of the day, Senior Professor Nilanthi De Silva, Vice Chancellor, University of Kelaniya. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Professor Nilanthi De Silva, Vice Chancellor, University of Kelaniya.
Dean of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, Professor Kapila Sengiratna. Dean of the Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, Dr. Fernando. Keynote speaker, Dr. Ravi Fernando. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to speak a few words on the occasion of the inauguration of the Master of Business Accounting and Master of Business Finance programs for the 10th intake of students. The University of Kelaniya is one of the foremost state universities in this country, as we all know. We see our mission as that of nurturing citizens who contribute to national development. We do that through the education of both undergraduate and postgraduate students and the research that is conducted by our staff and students in the range of academic disciplines offered by the different faculties of our university. I'm reliably informed that this MBUS program is the first ever online master's degree program offered by a national university. The blended teaching and learning approach adopted by the faculty for this program provides a flexibility that enables students to achieve their educational goals while balancing study with work and family commitments. The need for work-life balance is always important, but in today's context of constant shortages and crises, this has become an important consideration more than ever before. The blended learning approach provides an opportunity for students to participate in day-to-day classes conducted on-site at the university premises. But opportunities for learning are also offered through a virtual learning environment. I'm told that in addition to live lectures delivered on the Zoom platform, the MBUS learning management system also offers recorded lectures, lecture materials, assignments, and online discussion forums. Examinations are also conducted online in a proctored setting. This means that students from anywhere in the world can participate in this program. As a national university, we pride ourselves on the quality of the educational programs that we offer. We also pride ourselves on the fact that as a university, we had the resources to continue our academic activities with minimal disruption during lockdowns and travel restrictions due to COVID-19. We have invested in an excellent IT infrastructure that is maintained in working condition by well-trained staff and IT experts. So I'm confident that even now, despite all the disruptions brought about by the economic crisis, the program too will be completed on schedule. The Department of Accountancy has lined up an eminent panel of lecturers that includes our own academic staff, who are very well-known experts in the field, as well as industry practitioners. And I'm sure that you will be guided very skillfully towards your goal of achieving a master's degree. As a nation, we are at a crucial crossroad. As everyone knows, our economy is in dire straits. We need to navigate our way carefully so that we can come out of this crisis stronger than before. Sri Lanka needs educated and energetic young people to come to the fore and contribute their part to lifting us up out of the crisis and the mess that we find ourselves in. At a time when everyone has to cope with extra stress because of the economic crisis, we need people who will use their heads and not be ruled by their emotions. We need people who are willing to work hard with integrity and honesty. We need people who will contribute towards improving our export productivity. The very fact that there are 162 of you embarking on a journey that will lead you to a well-recognized master's qualification from our university is a sign that encourages me greatly that we have hope for our future. I'm really sorry that I cannot be with you in person because of other personal commitments, but I wish to thank all the staff of the Department of Accountancy, especially the program coordinator, Ms. Amila Rajapaksa, and the head of the Department of Accountancy, Professor Dilrukshi Abewardena, who have worked very hard to make this happen. Finally, let me extend my warm good wishes to all of the students who are setting out on this exciting journey leading to a Master of Business degree. I wish you all success in achieving the goals that you have set for yourself.
Thank you, Madam, for your inspiring thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, next in line of the day is the keynote speech by Dr. Ravi Fernando, Chairman, CEO, Global Strategic Corporate Sustainability Private Limited. Dr. Ravi Fernando is an alumni of the University of Cambridge, having completed a Master of Studies in Sustainability Leadership in 2014. He holds a Doctor of Business Administration degree from the European Business School in 2016. Dr. Ravi has completed the Advanced Management program at the INSEAD Business School, France, and is an executive in residence since 2010. He has an MBA from the University of Colombo. In April 2020, he created the 21st Century Board Leadership Model Masterclass for the Institute of Directors of Luxembourg, which is currently run in Luxembourg, Ireland, and Sri Lanka. Dr. Ravi is the Chairman CEO of Global Strategic Corporate Sustainability Private Limited, which operates in Luxembourg, Ireland, United Kingdom, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. His career with multinationals spanned 1981 to 2007 with Unilever, Reckitt Benckiser, SmithKline Beecham International, covering Africa, Middle East, and Asia. He was the first CEO of the Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology from 2008 to 2011 and Operations Director of the Malaysia Blue Ocean Strategy Institute 2011 to 2016. He was the first UN Global Compact focal point 2007 and set up the UNGC Sri Lanka network. He serves on the board of Dilma Ceylon Tea Company, Aitken Spence Plantations Limited, UN Global Compact, Habitat for Humanity, LOLC Holdings, Ceylon Graphene Technologies Limited, Ceylon Asset Management, and Global Strategic Corporate Sustainability Private Limited. In 2007, he won Global Strategy Leadership Award presented to him by Professor Rennie Mauborn of INSEAD at the World Strategy Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Ravi Fernando. Over to you, sir.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me also welcome and thank the academic staff that is responsible for this program, the chief guest, the guest of honor. I just want to check with you if my screen has been shared. Is it shared?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
It's visible. Okay, great. So once again, congratulations for being selected for the 10th batch of the University of Caledonia MBA program. Having also followed an MBA program many years ago, I must say that the more you begin to realize that what you learn in an MBA class is supplemented in a very, very important manner by the interactions you make with the various students that you will come across in this batch. And in addition to that, today I want to share with you a few words about new challenges that most business leaders and national leaders are faced with, which might or might not be covered in your curriculum, but there is no excuse for not knowing about these challenges, because these challenges will be very much an issue that you will have to deal with, just like the issues that Sri Lanka is now dealing with in terms of an externality, in terms of our economy, which is also made worse by some of the externalities the world is facing today. There was a reference made to the 21st century leadership model, board leadership model, which we created in 2020. And what I'm going to do today in the next 15, 20 minutes is to give you a small outline of that framework so that as you continue with your MBA studies, you also pay attention to these 6 modules or 6 elements of the 21st century leadership model that we now teach in Europe, mainly so that this is going to be some self-effort on your part to also understand how the 21st century model impacts your decision-making, your investments, and your strategic thinking. One of the challenges for us Sri Lankans is to always remember that we don't deal with these challenges in isolation in an island setting. As MBA students and as those reading for a master's, we must remember that all of us are linked and plugged to the global realities, the global challenges, and your aim as you get this MBA should be that you become truly a global manager and a global leader, not simply confined to what happens in Sri Lanka. So with that, let me give you a very quick introduction to the challenges and how I came across and what led me to create this 21st century model. The United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, in 2021 said that the world is facing a code red for humanity, that the world is facing a code red for humanity. And if the world is facing a code red for humanity, then every business will face a code red for humanity, and every nation will face a code red for humanity. So what is this code red for humanity? If I was teaching today in a class, I'd be now asking you all to give me that answer. But as we are in a virtual situation, I will not be able to do that with 148 students online. So let me start by saying what inspired me to create the 21st century board leadership model. First and foremost was that the world is facing a code red for humanity, and I will share with you what that is in a few minutes. An Oxford graduate and a PhD and a historian, and he wrote a book that was published in 2019 titled 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. And as I read that book, I began to realize that while there is a code red for humanity, there are 21 lessons on how to manage and how to circumvent and how to navigate the code red for humanity in the 21 lessons for the 21st century. Now, I don't know how many of you have read this book, but I urge all of you to seriously consider buying this book or reading it at least online with Kindle, because this book, I believe, should be a must-read book for every future business leader and every national leader on the planet, because it covers the essentials of understanding what are the new challenges that we are faced with. And the combination of the code red for humanity and the 21 lessons for the 21st century led us to create what is known as the 21st century board leadership model, which I'm going to share a few words about today. So with those few words, let me start by sharing a slide to share with you what is the code red for humanity. Every year, the world's leaders in terms of business, the world's leaders in terms of national leaders, all get together in a town in Switzerland called Davos. And they have what is known as the World Economic Forum, which meets every year in Davos. And one of the first things that happens in Davos is they identify what are the top 5 global risks that will impact every nation, every business, and every single human being on the planet. And in the year 2021 and in the year 2022, in this year, this event was held in Davos in February, March. the interesting thing is that they picked the same 5 risks. And the first risk that they presented was that the risk of climate action failure by business leaders and by national leaders as the #1 risk on the planet. And even as we look at some of the challenges that are faced by Sri Lanka, one could say that there has been a climate action failure amongst our leaders as well. The second biggest risk that is presented in the Global Risk Report is extreme weather. And you might wonder, what is extreme weather? Extreme weather comes to us in 2 or 3 forms. It comes to us in the form of extreme temperatures, and it also comes to us in the form of massive flooding and rainfall, and it also comes to us in the form of drought. Now, just imagine if the World Economic Forum has now designated extreme weather as the second biggest risk that the world is facing. So I'm not going to speak too much about the other risks. And these 2 risks, along with biodiversity loss, and of course, infectious diseases, which began to hit us with the COVID pandemic and now is raising its ugly head in the form of a monkeypox virus, are also covered in the 5 major risks. But one of the things that I'm going to focus on risk #1 and 2, climate action failure amongst leaders in the world of business and nations, and extreme weather incidents. If you look at the slide that I have put down, I have given you the global economic damage as a result of extreme weather incidents. So if you look at the period 1970 to 79, the average amount of economic loss due to extreme weather incidents was about $17 billion. But when we fast forward this to 2022, this figure is now $250 billion, or $250 billion, which means every business's supply chain and every business's asset bases are getting wiped out due to extreme weather incidents. So let's spend another minute to understand extreme weather incidents and its frequency. The number of heat waves that are now hitting the planet has increased 7.5 times in the last 2 years. Droughts have increased 3.6 times, crop failures 3 times, river floods and wildfires by almost twice. And as there are 3 times as many disasters, and I already showed you the figure of $250 billion per annum, and this figure is increasing with every passing day. Now, if this is one of the greatest risks the world is faced with, we need to understand what do they mean by heat waves. So here's a slide for you to understand heat waves that are hitting the various countries in the world in the last 2 months, June, July. So you can see China recorded a temperature of 44.2 degrees centigrade. Iraq in the Middle East hit 51.6 degrees. Germany had its hottest ever day recorded since 1888 and hit 39.2 degrees centigrade. And as you look at the countries around the European Union, every one of these countries have crossed 30 to 40 degrees centigrade. So why should we business leaders worry about these temperatures? Because every single supply chain on the planet is going to get affected by this. And we are already beginning to see how this is affecting the global food scarcity, combined, of course, with the situation in Ukraine. So the first thing is high temperatures. Second thing is flooding. And we have seen some of the worst floods ever seen in France, in Europe, 2 months rain in 2 hours in Taiwan, major flooding in Shanghai and Beijing. We are seeing, as you speak, if you check out the World Weather Report, we can see in the US, in Russia, Mexico, every country is facing extreme weather incidents. So now I hope all of you understand why extreme weather incidents and climate action failure have been recorded as the #1 and #2 risk on the planet. With this, there are 6 challenges that come and hit us. And what I want to spend the next couple of minutes is to explain to you what these challenges are based on the model that we have developed and that we now teach in Europe to mostly directors of boards and mainly helping them understand how to manage future risks in the world. So this model is basically what I'm going to spend a few minutes on now to get all of you thinking about it. The first massive challenge that the world is facing today is what we call a climate emergency. And that is basically, I have now explained to you, that is what the Secretary General of the United Nations called the Code Red for Humanity, because global temperatures in the last 20 years have been the highest ever recorded in the history of about 2 to 3 million years. And global temperatures are increasing with every year. And this year, most countries in Europe and Africa and Asia hit their highest ever temperatures over the last 3 to 4 million years. So we are seeing global temperatures increase, and with it, crop failures and supply chains getting affected. The second emergency the world is facing is what I call a health and social emergency. And all of you know how COVID-19 impacted most companies and most businesses in the last 2 years, almost brought the tourism industry to a grinding halt worldwide. And also the airline industry was greatly affected by the health and social emergency. And these emergencies will continue to impact the world even in the future. The third emergency is, as a result of the climate and health emergency, we will see economic emergencies beginning to come to us. And Sri Lanka is facing an economic emergency of unprecedented nature. And this emergency that Sri Lanka is facing, I must confess, has been mainly due to very poor fiscal management and policies by our leaders, but that alone is not the reason. We have a compounded economic emergency brought together by the climate emergency that's impacting the world and the health emergency that's impacting the world. So at the top end of this model are 3 emergencies: the climate emergency, and I have explained to you the 2 major reasons for the climate emergency is that we continue to burn fossil fuels in driving energy and driving electricity in the world. So fossil fuels are basically, the 3 major fossil fuels are coal, petroleum, diesel, and gas. Now, if you look at Sri Lanka's energy mix, 70% of our energy is driven through fossil fuels. 30% is driven by renewable energy, which is 29% is coming from hydroelectricity, and 1% is coming from solar energy. Now, it is quite sad that even though since 2008, we have been making many proposals to the government to move to renewable energy much faster, that even today we are dependent on fossil fuels. And that is one of the things that are absolutely bringing the country to a grinding halt, because if our electricity and energy was driven by renewable energy, like hydroelectricity, like solar energy, wind energy, Sri Lanka wouldn't have had as bad a crisis as we have now, because even the limited foreign exchange we have, we are now using it to support to import fossil fuels. So these are the three emergencies that are in this model. And there are three disruptors. And the disruptor number one is new technology disruption, like artificial intelligence, blockchain is changing the world. Geopolitics is having a major impact in the planet and in every country in the world. Sri Lanka is in the midst of basically two massive geopolitical entities, that is China and America stroke India, impacting Sri Lanka's decision-making because they have their own agendas. So geopolitics is a subject that is an important subject in the future. And lastly, governance. So this is the model. And I want to end today by just sharing with you four important characteristics of what I call a 21st century leader. But before that, I must mention to you, when Sri Lanka has a vision of being 70% driven by renewable energy by 2030. Now we are 30%. We need to get to 70%. Now there's no way we are going to get to 70% if we don't accelerate our renewable energy sources like solar. And I must mention that there has been an announcement that at the cabinet, that at the recent parliament, they changed the Ceylon Electricity Board Act. And with that change, renewable energy will get a much stronger benefit in the future. So in closing, what are the four key characteristics of a 21st century leader which each of you should cultivate? The first one is that every single one of you, no matter whether you have a science background or not, must appreciate science and what science is telling us in terms of the climate emergency and the health and social emergency, and consider them in your strategies. Number two, every single one of you need to be someone who has an urgency to impact what the UN Secretary General called the Code Red for humanity. Number three, every single one of you should cultivate an interest in what is known as the triple bottom line mindset, where planet and people should ideally take precedence over simply making profit. Now, if we had put planet and people before profit, Sri Lanka would have not been 1% driven by solar energy. Sri Lanka has 365 days of solar power hitting the country, but we are only 1% of our energy is coming from solar power. Countries which have only 2 months of sunlight, 3-4 months of sunlight, are now nearly 60% driven by solar energy. So that's the third one. And lastly, to embed your 21st century model. In this slide, I have given you the images of some of the world's amazing leaders who run businesses with those four characteristics and using the 21st century model. Elon Musk of Tesla, Sundar Pichai of Alphabet or Google, Patagonia's head, Yvon Chouinard, the head of Ørsted, which is an amazing company in Denmark, driving wind energy, and the European Investment Bank's president. And there are two ladies there. There is Botin of Santander Group and Paul Polman of Unilever. These are 21st century leaders. So my serious wish for all of you is, whilst everything you learn in the course is very important, you must keep your eyes open and keep your mind open to what I have now described as the 6 challenges that will impact every single one of us in the future, and to be building yourself up as a 21st century leader. Thank you very much, and I wish all of you all the best in your course. Hello.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable insights. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it brings us to the end of this inaugural ceremony, and let me invite Mrs. Amila Rajapaksha, Academic Coordinator, Master of Business Program, Department of Accountancy, University of California, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, madam.
Distinguished guests, heads of the departments, professors, teaching faculty of Master of Business Program, students, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all of you. At the outset, I would like to congratulate students who have been selected for the Master of Business Accounting, Master of Business Finance Program 2022. We, as Master of Business Program, firmly believe that you have made the right decision at the right time by joining with Master of Business Program to develop your career. Master of Business Program offers virtual learning platform for teaching, learning, and assessments which embedded with latest technologies. We adopt blended learning, teaching, and assessments to provide more flexibility without compromising the quality of the educational standard. We started this program in year 2012 with few number of students. Today, the 10th batch, it comes around 160 students. It proved the success of this MBUS program with continuous development throughout these last 10 years. Today, we are here to witness this success. Therefore, first of all, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Senior Professor Nilanthi Silva, Vice Chancellor, University of California, for being the pillar of success behind us. Next, my sincere appreciation goes to Dr. Fernando, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies. Thank you very much, sir, for your support and guidance. Then, Senior Professor Kapila Senaviratna, Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies. Thank you very much, sir, your presence here. Today, we are proud to have Dr. Ravi Fernando, Chairman, CEO, Global Strategic Corporate Sustainability Private Limited as keynote speaker. Thank you very much for your presence today and for providing valuable insight on a timely topic. Endless efforts and intellectual capabilities of all the academic staff members of Department of Accountancy immensely contributed this great success. Professor Dilrukshi Abewardena, Head, Department of Accountancy, former heads, former coordinators, members of teaching faculty, thank you very much for your presence today. At the same time, I would like to thank Ms. Navini Pereira, Technical Coordinator of MBUS Program, for her countless support. Mr. Vimukti and Mr. Chiran, really appreciate your dedication and commitments toward the success of this program. Finally, I would like to thank all the students for your right decision to be a part of this MBUS program because you are the future of this program. Today, you have started a new journey which will carry you to a desired destination of your career life with your commitment and dedication. Therefore, wish you all the best for your future endeavors. Once again, thank you very much for your presence today and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you very much, madam. With that, We invite you all to join with us and enjoy a world-class learning experience, which is indeed a flexible solution for a bright future. Let's meet again with the orientation and technical session tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wish you all a pleasant evening. Thank you.